Gotta turn the mic on, right? Before I start talking to people. Um, this is another live stream. I'm not doing any video editing right now. Um, I'm just not. Hold on, I have to get my charger. Yeah, so right now I'm not really doing any video editing because bro, I just want to get this shit off my chest. And I've been doing it in a variety of ways, but then things would change, you know, like there would be an issue, well, with me, as far as like, all right, so I guess I'll tell you, or I'll explain where we are right now. So over the past couple of, let's say over the last week, Diox Health / Datavant, their legal representative responded to my claims. Well, they produced a document that man, still like a little nervous and shit about it, but oh, let me share this shit, please. Oh. How do you share it? Oh man. Okay. How do I get to the stream? So I mostly do this shit in like Twitch, right? So like I don't know how to do it here. But that's okay. Um damn it. Well, one of my original video, it's not necessarily private, but it's age restricted, so no one can view it. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, here we go. Share link, clipboard. I've mostly been putting this shit on LinkedIn. And let me go to oh no, wait, I'm copying too many things. Oh wait, no, I did that. Okay, so this is cool. Okay, get the link to this article. Next thing, man, I should have did all this. You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna say I should have done anything. I'm instead gonna say that this is me. This is me putting it all out there. The inspiration. Well, first of all, I've been talking for so long. Let's start at the very beginning. Again. Hello. It's me. I'm here again because I have a lot to get off my chest regarding my it, they may strike me for that. I don't know if the other music that played was copyrighted, but perfect to start all over. So over the last 3 years, I've had a really hard life. Where I am right now is I live in a hotel, which is okay. Um, I I'm still unable to find gainful, not find, sorry. I'm still not in a position to pursue gainful employment, like like in the capacity that I was in before or even higher, um, because of the damage that I took on. And, you know, every day I'm getting a little bit better, but I've had years of my life stolen from me because Datavant, Psyox Health chose to do it. I was attacked in court, um, defamation of character, slander, like the criminal aspects of it being investigated is what's holding up my actual defamation claims against them. You know, um, it's so much stuff. It's so much stuff, and I just want to get rid of it. That being said, I'm starting again from when I was employed at Psyox Health. Um, I started the position in March 2021, and I didn't have access to any of the shit that I needed to do my job, you know. And I don't know if anyone has gone to a job where they stuff was really kind of messed up, you know, but they hire you into the messed up environment and tell you to just sort of like work it out, you know. And that's what I did. I worked it out in my environment. I asked a bunch of questions. I built a ton of things, resources and tools to help me traverse my environment, all the while not having the actual systems access that I needed to do my job. And that went on for about a month. Towards the end of this month in March, my hiring manager, uh, Dan the Man, Shafe, um, Dan the Man, nah, he was really cool. He was very knowledgeable in the department. You could see that this person just had experience, you know. They exuded experience and confidence. And honestly, they were one of the best managers that I've ever had. And I hope that they're doing okay in life right now. They left because they were being overworked, but he had a family that he did not want to miss. And so that's what he pursued. I hope that he is happy and that he is okay. In April, I had the, at this point, misfortune of meeting Megan Shaw. She's now calling herself Megan Wilson because made a real dog's breakfast of herself, and all the claims and stuff. But anyway, um, I kind of want to be, well, not kind of. I want to be objective, but this woman really is a nasty fucking cunt, you know? And it's not, it's not, let me tell you what it is. It's because I've had the experience that I've had with her that is intrinsic to me. And regardless of how anyone else chooses to receive her, that's your business. But based on what I've been through with Megan Shaw, Megan Wilson, Michelle Spicer, Christine Green, well, sit back and listen. In the first week of Megan Shaw working in the department, I went to her and made a lot of, I say a lot, right? But I went to her with two things. I went to her with, one, meeting her, but two, because I was moving and I set the move up with my prior manager, Daniel, her coming in, first of all, I think Dan told us he was leaving the Friday before he actually left. So he was there for about 7 days. So I was still trying to learn everything I could from him prior to him leaving because he's the greatest resource in the department, right? With here. Okay, cool. All right. So when I met Megan, I said I'm new to the department. I still don't have access to certain things. You know, I want to work together. I want to do a good job in this department. That's I always just want to do a good job doing what I sign up for, you know. He said, okay, great. When it came to moving, I said that I plan to work during the day. And like, because I didn't have access, or I was still going through my assistant at the time for a lot of things. And so when it came to things that required executive decisions, I'd be able to do so, log in, sign in, do everything that I have to do. She said, okay, take out PTO, showed me how to use it, said that she would get a notification of the fact that I took out PTO if I actually needed it. And I set up everything so that everything would be okay. And that week went by without a hitch. So the first week of working under Megan Shaw is me introducing myself to her, establishing a rapport, working together on a HR assignment that we had to do that was it was completed by the end of the week. There was no issue, you know. The next week, which may have been the 12th, Megan asked me to join her in a meeting where she asked what happened with like our assignment, because we went through it the week prior to make sure that it was complete. Megan Shaw had put in a metric that I told her. The metric was I wanted to be a director by the end of the year, because I really enjoyed my department. I liked the moving parts. It was frustrating, right? But it was frustrating because Was it frustrating? I don't know which is the proper word to use. It's not really. Let's go with frustrating right now, because I can't. It was frustrating because the department was changing and I didn't have systems access. I still feel like I'm behind my peers because they've been in the department a lot longer. They've worked with Dan a lot longer. There were a lot of things that weighed on me, that caused me great anxiety. But I showed up to work and did what I had to do. Um, so after that meeting on the 12th, um, it was like cool. You know, there was no, as far as I knew, it was just trying to figure out what happened. But we reestablished the assignment, and that was that. On the 14th of April, Megan Shaw had a meeting with us. We had like a daily meeting, and she gave us data that her management team gave her and told us to figure it out. And it was weird because, like, this was the first time that we were seeing this, and it seemed like it was a sign, it was a, what would I call it? It seemed to be a top-down overview of all of the cases and things that we had to do, but it was in a macro level because the director, I'm assuming, the director would have access to this site, because it was regional, right? So the director would have a knowledge of what was supposed to be completed, what was pending, what was past due, what was going to be due in the future. This is what I can see that data was now, but at the time she didn't know what to do with it, and asked us. There was something else that she was changing that Dan said had to stay in place because that's the way how the department was going to work. I questioned her about it because I asked, well, when did this change occur? Because again, I was out, not out, but like the following week, we were talking about getting acclimated to the department and stuff, like meeting each other and what have you. What is this change that you're implementing that doesn't really, that I can't understand? You know, I don't understand what listen, I just didn't get it, you know? And so I asked her about it. Um, I had a meeting with my assistant after the meeting, and she was like, okay, guys, that's it, so on and so forth. And I remember leaving the meeting because I typically didn't, I don't have extra things to say anymore at that period of time. It's just like, this is what I have to do, this is how I'm going to go about doing it. But like, nah, the assignment was weird. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So then I went back to speak to her. Bro, I went back to speak to her because during that meeting when I was asking her questions about the assignment, she was giving me a lot of attitude. Like, I, I I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how the person I met the week prior, I engaged with her a couple of times, all positively, and yet she has this sort of like snarky, sort of like nasty sort of tone. And that confused me. So I asked to have a meeting with her right after the meeting was done. Um, so yo, when I talk about this shit, I get depressed. I get depressed because I'm like, bro, this shit was, it's so insidious, right? Because now that I can sit back and everything is where it is right now, it's like, how awful, you know? But anyway, I held a meeting with her and I told her about my mental health diagnoses because I am anxious. I do have PTSD regarding being in, again, have you ever been in a work environment where you're just sort of like thrown into it and just told, okay, we'll do this, produce, you know? Um, that's stressful. That's stressful. And yeah, I do have a lot of anxiety because there are a lot of moving pieces that I still kind of don't understand. And the only person that could have taught me left. In And then she said, "Oh, I wanted to see what you were working on. You know, can you show me what you were working on?" And so I showed her the system that I built in order to deal with my inventory. Um, and she said, "Oh, you know, your aptitude is higher than that of your peer." And that didn't do anything for me. You know, it was information, but it wasn't like, "Oh yeah, I got this. I'm the baddest dude up in here. You don't got to talk to me." It wasn't any of that. It was really just, okay, it still doesn't alleviate my anxiousness when I'm asking questions in a meeting regarding how to complete an assignment and you have the attitude that you have towards me. And later well, I'll get to that. Um so by this time she knew that I was asking her questions regarding an assignment. I wanted a honest and transparent I wanted honest and transparent communication. And bro, I just want a safe environment to work in. You know, I just got promoted to this position. You know, I'm good at it. I want to do it. I want to, you know, I'm in it to win it. I am locked in, you know. And for you to say to me that my aptitude is higher than that of my peers, you know that I'm locked in. Come on, like we're working together here, you know. And there are managers who know that about me. I'm in it to work together to make sure that there aren't any issues. People know that about me. She knew that about me because that's the conversation that we had, you know. But things change. On April 19th, I was invited into a meeting to talk about the inventory that Megan and I spoke about the week prior. The analysts were asking Megan, well, they were asking me if I escalated the matter, who did I escalate it to, all this other stuff. So I showed them that I escalated it to Megan. I showed them that I escalated it in the supervisor chat that we had. So as far as I knew, I was doing my job, right? Megan Shaw sends me a private message asking me like, ultimately she asked me if I reached out with her. And I'll tell you, all of this shit is going to be a footnote in my history, if it even is mentioned at all, right? But or I just had a heart to heart with you last week about working together, being honest, and then facilitating that meeting, asking her to meet me or to have meetings with me to make sure that like my assignments were done completely. And then you ask me if I met, come on, it's so low, you know? Like, I can see now that the questions that you were asking me was seeing where there would have been a breakdown, so that's something that you could blame on me. Because to ask me that is just really insulting, you know? And I told them that. I told them that, nah, that shit was low. That was not okay. And I don't know anything about her, but again, by this time, he'd already talked to me in a way that was like, okay, you know, relax. Not necessarily relax. Um, Tell me about it, because I had a meeting with her, right? Like, please explain your behavior to me. And anyone that knows me knows that about me. I'm seeking to understand people because I don't want any misunderstandings. The goal of communication is not only to understand, but to be understood. I'm here for it, you know? But people lie, don't they? on April 20th, 2021. I don't know if I've been saying 22, but it's definitely 2021, where Megan Shaw held a meeting with HR and refused to tell me what the meeting was about. And nah, it was weird. So I sent an email saying that, you know what? They're help. Listen, I don't want to move up in this department. I want to wash my hands. I just want to move on to do something else in another department because this lady is this lady is doing a bunch of stuff that's really, really confusing. You know, I ask you to tell me what the meeting is for, then you give me an ultimatum of whether or she refused to answer me as to what the meeting was about. Refused to answer me, and then told me that um and then asked me if I was, because I was asking her. So it went like this. I asked her what the meeting is about. She asked me, are you refusing to attend? And I thought that was a very interesting question to ask me. I'm definitely going to be there, but why can't you tell me what the meeting is about? If I not 5 days ago asked you, what was it? It would have been 6 by that time. If I 6 days ago asked you to be honest and transparent with me, and you're doing all of these things that are dishonest, you had a conversation with me about a reasonable accommodation that you are not able to provide. Because that's how they came across. My reasonable accommodations are for you to be honest and transparent with me and my working. And here she is, 6 days later, not doing what we discussed. Bro, when the meeting started, they asked me what I thought the meeting was about. They meaning Juliet Maddox. She was the HR generalist at the time, and Megan Shaw. Megan Shaw just kind of stood like, if I had to say anything, Megan Shaw called the meeting, but allowed Juliet Maddox to facilitate everything. And so it's like, if you're so big and bad and bold and everything, why can't you speak up and because there was no purpose for the meeting. For you to ask me what the purpose was for a meeting you called means you had no reason. You're just trying to suss out what I know, where I am and everything, you know, because I told HR what the issue that I had was, you know, I am communicating with a manager that is not doing her job, it seems, and then she's trying to blame the fact that she's not doing her job on me. And granted, we all have a hard time, but come on, not 6 days ago, I met with you and said, let us have a honest and transparent working relationship, and yet you do this. You are not the person that you think you are. You're something a little different. And that's something that I'm able to identify the moment they asked me that question in that meeting. So yeah, for me to answer and say, listen, I've had issues with this site. I've reached out to my supervisors. I've reached out to Megan. I don't know what to do. Then Juliet Maddox said, oh, well, the meeting wasn't about that. It was about time. Because on the 19th, the day prior, I left 30 minutes early because I was already in at like 6:30 or so that morning. And with that meeting where Megan Shaw tried to like blame me for her not doing her job, that wasn't okay. I took the time off to refocus and to come back into work and do what I had to do. You know? Megan then say, oh, you've only been working for 4 hours. Oh, because mountain time, you say you work from 8 to 4, and mountain time, that's only 4 hours. And then I thought to myself, why are you starting at 8 o'clock? Right? knowing that I'm Eastern, like, you know my time. You know my time. You know how long I've been in, because that is Megan Shaw has asked for my time, my schedule, at least twice. At least twice. And she knew that I was Eastern because that's included in the times that she asked for. So this was just a whole thing that served no purpose, because by the end of the meeting, I explained to Juliet Maddox that I left early because I was a little upset over what was transpiring. I there were at least two things that Megan Shaw brought. Oh, the other thing was using our lunch break to run personal errands, which we were allowed to do. So by the end of this meeting on 420, I didn't have any issues. And then I went back to Megan and said, hey, you know, I don't think this was the best way to go about doing this because of all the reasons that I stated. And she goes, oh, this would have been perfect to bring up during the meeting. Why would it have been perfect to bring up during the meeting if the goal of the meeting, at least by this rate, was never to discuss anything with me? It was to gather information about what I had an issue with. Why are you this way? You know, that's the shit that I want to know more than anything. Why are you demonstrating yourself to be this way? I told her, no, I don't need I don't want another meeting. I really just want a clear answer to the question that I asked. And then she parrots off, oh yeah, we just have to keep working towards honesty and transparency and whatever, whatever. And it's like, bro, again, 6 days ago this was discussed. You've shown at least 2 instances where you were not going to be honest. And that bothered me, yo. It bothered me big time. But it is what it is. Hmm. Getting voicemail. Not voicemails, text messages. Um. Yeah. Okay. Um. So at this, yeah, I'm shaking a little bit because I'm still like, you know, like that was a hard thing to get through, you know, at least up until this point. Because, like, bro, you figure within 3 weeks, this person changed completely. They asked me to trust them in a meeting, in the April 14th meeting. And I thought that was a strange thing to do. I'd never ask anyone to trust me or tell them to trust me. Um, they just will. So I thought it was strange that she asked me to trust her. Um, because it was something I had to give without her having to be trustworthy. It's rough stuff. But I'm settling all of this stuff and I'm setting it straight. Um oh, 3 days after April 20th, I receive a disciplinary action that I received a disciplinary action that lied about so many things. By that day, by April 23rd, I knew specifically who Megan Shaw was. I knew specifically who she was. She was a liar and she was a deceitful, see you next Tuesday, manipulative. By the way that you are able to take data, you're able to take data and manipulate it to such a degree to prove a point. When I say that, I don't necessarily like use data for evidence, because it's like you always feel like you have to prove stuff. So I just take in data. You know, this person is treating me in a way that is abusive. This person is treating me in a way that is akin to harassment and discrimination. This person is not a good person. This person is not a decent human being whatsoever. And yeah, I'm ending this stream right now to hop on over to the article that I wrote a year later, which highlight the sheet itself. I know that I forgot to say it, but please like and subscribe. I have a lot to get off my chest, and I'm trying to make it as digestible as possible. I've chosen to make this event a streaming event because I can just let all the shit go and offer points on the things that I've said, clearer about things that I get to put down, not on paper, but in a video this time, so that I can address every single question regarding details in that space of time. Because I will always remember what happened to me. You know, it won't always be worth mentioning, right? But I do remember what happened to me, and it was absolutely terrible. And it was planned. So, next episode, I'm going to highlight the disciplinary action and point out the reasons why it's why it doesn't make any sense anymore. All right, peace.